What's up, family? If you've watched any of my videos before where I include a webcam, a lot has changed in this room right now. There's a giant piano behind me, and everything that was on the walls is no longer on the walls. I am going to be changing this room completely. All the artwork that was in here and all the stuff that was in here has been moved. Some of it will be coming back in here, and some of it will be getting given away or donated. The reason this room is changing, for the most part, is because of this piano behind me. That piano needs to go on the wall right here. That means I need to get rid of this desk because the wall is not wide enough for me to fit the desk and the piano up against that same wall. I've never shown you guys my desk before, so I will show it to you guys a little bit here at the beginning of this video, but then I'm going to just basically use the rest of this video to show you how I'm building my new desk. You can see some of the supplies kind of behind me here. There's the desktop that I'm going to be using, and then there's a bunch of other stuff I'll show you guys too. But the beginning of this video, I want to show you guys my current desk, the way that I built it in all of its really makeshift glory, and then I will show you guys my new desk, the items that I'm going to be using for that, and then show you guys how I'm going to be building that. So this is going to be a decently long video, different than what I normally do, but I hope you guys enjoy it. So anyways, let's do it. Let's take a look at my current desk first. Here is a look at the desk the way it currently is. So there's the wall that the piano needs to go on. Here's the piano. So the piano has to come right here, from here to here, and so won't be able to fit both of these in this space. And the reason that the desk can't just be moved is because, you're gonna see all the crazy wires, I mounted it as like a floating desk onto the wall. So it needs to come down, and then we need to use this stuff to build a new desk right over here. That's going to be basically in this area here with all of the computer and internet and everything there. So the current desk right now, there's been a lot removed already because I kind of already started the process. Wish I would have gotten a video with everything that was set up on here. But that's okay, you get the gist. This desk was pretty cheap to make. I used a bunch of 2x4s underneath to build the frame and kind of the perimeter where these boards were mounted. And you can't really tell in the video unless I get close, but this was one of my first desks I ever built, one of my first woodworking projects, and I didn't actually join these boards together. I just bought like 1x6 pine, and I just basically screwed them into the 2x4s that are underneath here, thinking that everything would kind of line up and be seamless, and of course that's not how it works. Wood bows and does all sorts of crazy stuff. So what else with this desk can I say? And what I meant by kind of a makeshift glory, there's a lot that I just kind of built randomly for this desk. This was scrap pieces of wood that kind of just got tacked together for a mount or a stand for the monitor. And then this never got stained. It never got, lacquered or finished or anything like that. It's literally just the bare wood from when I built it a couple years ago. And this trim piece here that I was going to border the desk with never got tacked down or stained or anything like that. So it's all just loose. The desk never really got fully finished. So I was going to finish it sooner rather than later, but it turns out it was time to get this piano moved. And so I figured I'd take it down and start over. So there's the current desk setup that's going to be coming down off the wall in the next couple of days here. I guess I could show you guys the computer setup. So there's my computer down there. Unfortunately, the side that it's on, you can't see into the PC. The other side has the clear glass on it. So hopefully I'm going to get that set up better on this other build where you can kind of see the PC better. Over here underneath the printer is where my PlayStation is, and my setup for my microphone to turn that on and off. Probably turn that off. And then what else? I have this cabinet over here that has my router underneath here, and all of the Ethernet cords run underneath and plug into everything and whatnot. So it's kind of a mess right now. I'm hoping to change that up as well on the new build, do some wire trays and different things like that, make it look cleaner. So yeah, so this is my original desk, and so let's move on and show you guys the materials that I'm going to be using to build the new desk, and then show you me building the new desk. Awesome. What I want to do with this is get I don't know, just a general idea down on paper so you guys can see what I'm shooting for here. So I'm going to be building the desk, like I said, 30 inches by about, what is it again? I think it's 5 feet. So that's just going to be the desk top. This is looking at from the top down. Okay, so then there's going to be a second tier shelf on the back here. And that is what you saw those legs before. Those would be underneath, like that, supporting that. So let's look at what the front of the desk will look like. So the legs that we're going to be putting together, you're going to have a caster at the bottom that is connected to a joint, right? And that joint is going to be connected to a 12-inch piece of iron tubing that has another joint connected to it, connected to another piece of 12-inch tubing that has another joint connected to another piece of tubing that isn't quite as long, and then you'll have another caster on the top here. I know this is kind of a rough drawing, but you get the idea. Then you're going to have 4 legs like that. You're going to have another one over here, and obviously one behind this leg and one behind this leg. Similar leg on the side. Same thing with the casters and the joints going up and whatnot. So you'll have a caster here. So the desktop will be on here, okay? And then you'll see the second tier here. Whoop, caster, whoop, cap, and then the second tier here where the monitor will be. Okay, so you get an idea. Nice drawing, Paul. Okay, so the reason that the joints here are going to have this kind of T-joint is because I want to add some shelving. So there's going to be another piece of iron tubing that comes out this way and then gets capped on the end. And then there's going to be one on the back side as well. So you'll have another piece of iron tubing possibly here, gets capped on the end, and so forth. There's going to be one close to the ground. I think on one side there's only going to be 2 shelves, and on the other side there will be 3. I haven't decided which side is which yet. I'm kind of assuming on this side we'll get rid of this, just like that. So boards will basically extend across. So if you're looking at it from the top, or even from an angled view, you would see, piece of iron sticking out, another piece of iron sticking out, right? And then your board would sit across them like that. So hopefully resting on the joints in the cap to keep it level. Otherwise, they're going to just barely get cut down, and they're going to fit right on top of the tube. Those are going to get stained as well to match. So the PC will probably be fitting in here. Probably stick my router here, my PlayStation here, something like that, right? Put games on these shelves. I don't know how it's gonna look, but that's kind of the general idea. So rough sketch, I know, but hopefully that gives you an idea of what I am shooting for. Keep you along on the journey here with me. So here I am starting the build. As I'm putting it together, it's going together the way that I thought it would, but what I didn't realize is that I bought pieces that were too long, so I ended up having to stop for the day after measuring it and realizing I was off by about 5 inches. So I had to stop, go to Menards, and get some smaller pieces to continue the build. Alright, so quick update. I had to go to Menards and change the lengths of these tubes that we had. So, for example, this bottom one was originally like a 1-inch piece. Now it's just a closer piece. Or it was like a 1/2-inch piece. Now it's a closer piece. This used to be 12 inches. Now it's 10. This one also used to be 12. Now it's 10. This one used to be 4 inches. Now it's 3. And so basically what I did is I had put it together like this and put it up to my existing desk and realized it was about 4.5, 5.5 inches too tall. And so I went back and basically subtracted, 2 inches here, 2 inches here, 1 inch here. So that left me with, 5 inches and then a little bit extra. And the reason that I shrunk it down even a little bit more than what it was the height of my current table is because I have a thicker top going on this one, and I really want it to be as close to that one as possible. I'm really used to that, and I like that desk, so I'm gonna put that, top on here. So that should bring it to be about the same height as that, just barely taller now when I look at it. So had to run to the store tonight, so I'm gonna have to pick up this project tomorrow, but we will continue from there. So after I had gotten everything that I needed, I actually came up with a new plan of the way I was going to assemble the frame that the wood was going to sit on. I realized that these pieces do not tighten together very well unless you put them together in a very specific order. So I had to work from the bottom and then make the legs after that. So I'm making this perimeter piece that will be the structure of the bottom of the frame. The pieces were really dirty, so I had to wipe them down a lot and continue putting things together. I was measuring each side to make sure that each side was the same length. I wanted it to be as square as possible, and then I also checked level to make sure that all the feet were about the same height. Then I went around the perimeter, putting on each section of the legs one at a time and measuring each one. So I bought these little plugs at Menards. I'm actually going to plug these holes where you would normally see a shelf. The PC is going to be on this bottom shelf, so there won't be a shelf here, and so I'm just going to plug where there would be a shelf with these, and I'll tighten them down later. These are the pieces I'm using as the legs for the monitor riser. My nephews came over and helped me sand and stain the wood. I didn't get any footage of the staining, but you will see the finished product. Okay, so here's the final structure of the iron for the desk itself. I added a couple feet here at the bottom to support this, otherwise these started to bend in. We added all of the shelving here. We have the missing section of shelving here. This is where the PC is going to go. All the wood's been stained. There's a piece right over there. It actually worked out really, really well. I had my nephews help me out. They sanded it and helped me stain it. So that's been sitting overnight, and it's ready to kind of start to be put together. So yeah, I will continue the video with showing you guys after I get the wood on here and kind of how the final structure is going to look. It came together really nice. It took a couple extra tweaking to the structure of this just to kind of make it more sturdy. I added a foot in the back there. I think I mentioned that before, but yeah, so we cleared out this area where the piano was before, and we took down the old desk. So now this keyboard is there and the piano's against that wall. So we still need to paint in here, so we'll move things in and out still. But yeah, so here's kind of where the desk is going to be, where the router and everything is going to be, and so I'll show you that as we kind of get things put together more. Here my nephews are helping me put the desk together. I really like the way that the wood was finished. The red mahogany stain turned out great. All right, you guys, the desk is pretty much done here. I got the top put together here with the monitor, the speakers, and my headset. I got my light over here. Down here we have the Wi-Fi modem or router. We have my PC over here with the visible side out over there. It's not on, so you can't see any of the lights or anything. We got the chair and the PlayStation, and then down here we're going to be putting games and controllers and different things like that. So the desk is pretty much done. I might do kind of like a little bit of a wrap-up video here at the end to explain a couple things that I did, and there are still a few things that I am going to add and update to this. One thing, for example, as you can see, that is a rat's nest back there. So we're probably gonna do some wire management, different things like that. I might do a little update video on that. But there it is. Hey, sincerely, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, give it a like. Comment if there was something that you guys would have liked to see me go more in depth on. Share, subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.